Saturday morning shit. Wake up, wake up. Fuck you doing? Yeah, I'm talking to you. It's Saturday. I got something to talk about as I scroll up. Don't pay no mind to this bump on my face. It happens. Feel me? Good morning, though. I hope y'all feeling wonderful. As wonderful as I do. Hope y'all doing good. Hope y'all feeling blessed on this Saturday. Enjoying the weekend overall. Shout out to those that got to get up and get paper. Working on the weekend. You know what I mean? Boom. We gonna get straight to it. I'm gonna scroll up and I'm gonna talk while I'm scrolling up. You feel me? I mean, nobody gonna say it, man. If niggas is saying it, they ain't saying it loud enough. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna say it. Chrisean Rock versus Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields versus Chrisean Rock. That's the fight everybody want to see, man. And hear me out. Before you take these certain approaches, because there's many approaches, you could make from that statement right there. But before all of that, let's break it down. For the last, 5, maybe even a little bit more years, the toughest female fighter that we know as far as like the public, the media, besides Claressa Shields, is Chrisean Rock, bro. You know, that girl was all over television beating bitches up. Now, she may not be a professional, but as you can see, currently she's working towards becoming a professional, and she's doing a terrific job, might I add that. At the same time, Claressa Shields has been a person that's been doing what she's been doing her career, which put her where she's at today. All the hard work and dedication, right? So they are two different, complete calibers as far as boxers. You feel me? As far as boxers, they are two different, complete calibers. You feel me? Oh yeah, make sure y'all share the live, man, and like and subscribe. I ain't even share the live. Let me share the live real quick, y'all. Give me 1 second. 1 second, y'all. You know, people can, and yo, they zap my live, bro. Yo, they zap my live. All right, so now we got one viewer after the joint just did some shit, said reconnecting. I never in my life, but now we got 2 viewers, and we just had 16 people in here. I don't know if that comes from me mentioning Claressa Shields or Chrisean, but let me just get this off my chest real quick. I came on here to address my community, my supporters that want to hear this. If you don't, you don't. This is just my opinion, right? So boom, they both fighters. So in that aspect, I think that she's able to have a fight with Claressa Shields. As far as boxing goes, they are definitely two completely different calibers of boxers. You know what I mean? Of course, Claressa is much more advanced. She's been doing it long enough, you know what I'm saying? And Claressa is, Chrisean is, starting to become whatever it is that she may become as a boxer, right? So that's true. That's all true. Now, you might say, well, how can you even speak her name in the same sentence as Claressa when Claressa is who she is as a boxer? And you are absolutely right. But this is where the people who control, certain shit as far as y'all let Jake Paul fight Mike Tyson. And of course, it wasn't a real official fight. But that fight that y'all had, you got Ray J against Orlando Brown. This is all after these things have happened. So real lives, somebody dying. But when we see celebrities in the ring fighting each other, a lot of us who familiar with celebrity deathmatch, we can't help but say that's exactly what we see when we see y'all do that shit. So maybe it's been a long time coming since then, since that was on TV, that show. But that's what's going on. And because y'all open these doors, you mentioned Chrisean, you feel me? They had it and address different, documented off of you, actual people, and then that individual finds a way to create an income around that, a bag, and because that's what happened. That's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all had Jake Paul going to ring to have Claressa Shields fight Chrisean, it's not. And I think that's the fight everybody wants to see. I think we, as the supporters, the fans, when I say we see that Chrisean got that dog in her, that through boxing, which is like, everybody's rooting for that because they see her fight or have seen her fight and they like, yo, she really know how to, fight. So now you going into a professional rooting for her because they know that's what she do. She good at it. So it's not far-fetched for that idea to be, it's not, one of the, she with it, sanctioned. I mean, I don't know too much about, don't get me to talking as far as Sean now that I think about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how that shit works, but if there's a will, there's a way. You know what I'm saying? So, follow for fight is over. I think that's what the people want, yo. That's just my opinion. I think that's what the people want. We've seen fighters fight a lot of people, and not even just fighting. You sports, whatever, different sport. You know who you want to see go up against who because of their work ethic. They both respectable. They both good. You know what I'm saying? Anything, any sport. You always got those matches in your head. Whatever, like, yo, I want to see blah, blah, go against. And I think that's just one of those matches, yo, that people got ability. Because again, they both ain't no, you could scan your mind on the come up. I mean, any woman, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like Claressa pops up. Ain't no other chick, you know what I'm saying, on the internet that's as popular as her. I'm sure there's chicks who got videos on the internet with views of them boxing. I'm sure they got support, entertainment business and hip hop and the urban community. I think Claressa, when you think like, yo, she been on the come up. She could probably spank this person, that person. You don't know, but you would like to see that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think when even people seen that in the back of their minds or during that whole shit, whatever against Chrisean would be crazy. I believe that. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll be like she fight popular. She got that love supporting her. I think that'll be dope, man. Like I think we was headed here. People have found other ways besides the traditional way to become comedians, rapper. Like people use the internet and they use it the best way they can. And the internet has been a good tool for certain people to where, yeah, they've these people that can change their lives based off of, the individual work that they put in. We in new times. You know, your next Michael Jordan, don't get me wrong, there ain't gonna never be another Michael Jordan. But I'm just saying, you know how they was like, yeah, me play whatever, because that's the time we living in. You know, it ain't like back in the days where, you know, scouting is kind of like the only way to find talent. Credentials, moving in a town where the credentials are, them shits is like the least of your worries. You know, basically, if you got the basic proof to prove, you know, you got common sense and you can do shit, simple shit, very well enough. That's kind of easy. Shout out to Pure Vanilla Rants. I don't know, the other person got their name written in Arabic. I can't read that. But shout out to you though. And yeah, man, you know, so that's the time we do a video. You know, we moving into them times. You know, it's still room for word of mouth, but it's like, you know, word of mouth turn. Check it out. You aware of this person, this player, this whoever this person may be. And yeah, man, and I think it's gonna happen a lot more. You know, because this shit is all influenced women fighters who wanna, you know, probably take similar paths as Claressa shit and do use you as a blueprint and then, you know, add whatever they got to it or figure it out how they want to figure it out and, you know, get them where they need to go. So yeah, it's a lot of girls, little girls watching that I'm sure it's like, you know what, I want to do this. And you know what, it's better to hear just be on top. Now girls could, you know, and it's like, yeah. And yeah, that's all I'm saying, man. I think that's what the people want to see. I think they want to see people would pay their top dollar. I think pay-per-view would go back up. If you know, if niggas got to get it off pay-per-view. Like, I think that shit would be something. I'm just giving my opinion. And yeah, versus Chrisean, that would be like one of the biggest events, you know, at this time. Let me know if you think Chrisean would win. Let me know if you think Claressa would win. You know, I'm here with y'all. See what y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, holla at me. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure your friend and holla at your boy, Fat Geronimo.